Are we live? Are we live? Yes, we are. Whew. It is 9:06. I'm 6 minutes late, but thank you all for being here. I'm so excited because today is, I would say, day one where I am stepping out on faith and starting this live show. Let me move this mic. Shout out to my mama for buying me the mic. And today we're gonna talk about a few things. So welcome to Rae Chats Live, guys, where we keep it real, raw, and always relatable. I have so much that I want to talk to you about tonight. We have some segments because y'all know I've been trying to plan to do this live for a long time, and I'm finally here. So I've been planning, and I finally put my foot to the metal and pressed go. So we have some segments. The segments is going to be broken up into different areas. First is Rae's Roundup, where we're going to do a recap of news that was trending today or during the week. The second segment is going to be a small business shout out. I have a company that sent me a product that I want to share with you all. And the third segment is going to be a real story where I can provide. I'm going to read an anonymous story where we're going to give advice together. So you in the comments and me to the person who submitted the story anonymously. So let's get started. First is the Rae's Roundup. Give me a second. Hi, baby.
Hi.
My baby's down here. You're supposed to be in bed. Okay, but don't come in the camera. Go ahead. Go up. Good night, baby. Go ahead. Go to Dada. Good night. I'm sorry. I tried to plan for this. Okay. Could you just go upstairs to your bed, baby? Mom life. Sorry, y'all. I planned for 9. It's 9:09, and she did exactly what I didn't expect her to do. Okay. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you so much for being here. I got so nervous because I heard a voice and I heard the beads, and my baby came downstairs. Is this the first episode? Yes, it's the first episode, Dom. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy that I see y'all familiar faces because I literally just drew a blank because I heard my baby walking down the stairs. She's supposed to be sleeping. The daddy said he was going to put her to bed. Yes, I forgot. Jenna told me to send this to her. Let me send it to, I'm going to send the live out. Y'all, please share the live because we have to talk about some things. And I'm so happy that you guys are here. Dom, honey, you've been doing your thing with the Love Island. You almost convinced me to watch the show. I have never seen that show. And I was like, man, maybe I should watch it because you've been doing your thing, girl. So shout out to you, y'all. Y'all follow Dom and make sure y'all follow Nikki. Okay, so the first segment of the show is Rae's Roundup, where we're going to talk about things that was trending today and this week. And while I was doing my research today, I'm like, let me look up some topics. And the first thing that came up, when you do trending news, it's so hard to stay away from politics. Like I told myself, don't talk about politics too much because it gets very sticky, especially with the type of work that I do full time. I didn't want to talk about politics, but we have to talk about this today because it's so important. And if you think it's not going to affect you, it is. So today, the Supreme Court decided to allow Trump to continue to fire people from the Department of Education. When he originally came into office, if you all remember, in March, he came in the door kicking with the 4-4. He literally came in the beginning of the year, and by March, he fired, I think, over 1,300 people. They literally had like 4,000 people working for the Department of Education. He came in, he fired over 1,000 people, like I think close to 1,300 people. He offered like about 600 people. 600 people took voluntary resignations. Some of them took early retirement. So like close to 2,000 people, he fired them from the Department of Education, and everybody's in an uproar. So when that happened, a bunch of, local school districts, teacher unions, and some state local governments came together to try to block him from doing this. They was able to get a judge. I think the judge was out of Boston. He agreed. He blocked it. So Trump's administration had to basically put everything on hold. They said, okay, we're going to battle this out in court. And today, after it went to the Supreme Court, let me show you the picture. I'm going to show them the picture on YouTube. I don't think I can show you all on here, but our Supreme Court justices decided to say to the judge, you were wrong for blocking this, and his administration has the right to follow through with their plan. So what does that mean for the Department of Education? I think a lot of people don't really understand the role of the Department of Education. Let's talk about that first, because then that'll give you kind of an idea and it'll wrap your mind around what's really about to happen. So not only did almost 2,000 people lose their good old government job, they also is going to affect all of the babies. So our federal government specifically made the Department of Education to ensure that there is, number one, funding for pre-K through 12 programs. Y'all know the years that is responsible for developing us as adults. The federal government said we are going to give each state a percentage of our budget to support your programs, and so that the people who are poor, disabled, and all of the things, they have the funding to go to school. So that's one, area. Not only does the Department of Education provide federal funding to K through 12 programs, they also provide federal funding for colleges. If it was not for the federal student aid program, me, Rae, I would not have a bachelor's degree in broadcast journalism, because my parents couldn't afford a private student loan. The credit wasn't high enough for us to get a private student loan. So of course, me wanting to get out the hood and go to college, I had to apply to get federal funding from the government. And the Department of Education is responsible for making that possible for a bunch of young, underprivileged kids like myself. Not only does the Department of Education provide funding for schools, they also is responsible for doing research. They are also responsible for the testing. They are also responsible for protecting the civil rights of students all over our country. I know you all remember what school was like when the education was left to the states. So currently in your state, the school board and the school districts is responsible for the day-to-day. The Department of Education is supposed to oversee the efforts of each individual state. So without them, each state will be allowed to do what they want. That's number one. Like, remember segregation in schools? Some states said, we don't want any Black kids in our school. We want whites only. And because of the Department of Education, they was able to regulate those type of rules. So what Trump's administration is trying to do is he's trying to dismantle the Department of Education. And because he knows that Congress is the only one that can legally say no more Department of Education, Trump's administration cannot do it without Congress, because you have to put a law in place in order to dismantle the entire agency. So what he's trying to do is take money away from the department so they won't be able to effectively operate. It's a mess. Some people tried to stop it, but today the Supreme Court said you can go ahead and finish with your firing plan. Like, I literally planned to come on here and talk to y'all about celebrity gossip, and then when I saw that headline, I'm like, I can't move on from that. Like, I have to talk about this because it's so important. And the thing is, I don't want everybody to freak out because a lot of this stuff is happening, but it may not make it all the way. If you know someone who worked for the federal government and worked for the Department of Education and they lost their jobs, please send them a hey, how you doing? Check on them, because those type of jobs, people get federal and local government jobs, state jobs, government jobs, because they are looking at the long-term benefits. And some people get those jobs thinking that they're going to retire from them. So y'all, please pray for those people that lost their jobs. I think the effects of this is they keep saying, we want to put it back on the states. We want the states to be responsible for their own education. The states are already responsible, but without funding that the federal government provides states, without managing the civil rights, these states are just going to be able to do what they want. It all depends on who's the governor, who's on the local school board, who's the superintendent of the district. They are going to be able to do whatever they want. And what does that mean for a person like me that lives in North Carolina? A person like you that lives in New York? It all depends on the state that you live in. And it's going to cost the states more money. I think if the federal government pulls their funding from the Department of Education, it's going to leave the states scrambling to try to fill that gap. A lot of the federal money that goes into education covers a lot of the special needs programs. It covers a lot of the early education. So like pre-kindergarten, that's free for those that make under the poverty line. If it comes with Title IX protection. So if you receive federal funding from the government, they have the right to say you got to do this, this, and that. So, protecting against sexual and racial, like so many things the federal government was managing, where if they take this away, things might get a little crazy. But that's what happened today. Let me see if I can show you all, because I've noticed since I started doing content, I really notice that a lot of people don't know what they don't know. So sometimes when I'm making videos and I'm talking about things, I think that people just know what I'm talking about, and no, sometimes they don't. So I'm going to show you who is our Supreme Court justices. And if you all know, the Supreme Court justices are appointed by the president. So y'all already know what that looks like. There's not a lot of minorities, but I would think equal opportunity to education, you would think, would be something that everybody is interested in, not only Republicans and not only Democrats. You would think rich, poor, blue, green, yellow, purple, it doesn't matter. We would all want our kids to have access to proper education. I have a comment. This is sad. Programs like Head Start, all of my kids are Head Start babies, and they all graduated from high school, and all four are working. One just got out of the Navy in medical school right now. Yes, Michelle, Mom, you did that. They never been on drugs. And none of them don't have kids except for my oldest, and she's 35. And that's sad because Head Start programs really helped. I even got an award for being one of what they call the most participating parent, because after working 2 shifts at FedEx, I would get off of work in the morning, drop my kids off, and then I would stay and help the kids out in the classroom at the Head Start program. We need these programs for the kids to start early education. Michelle, thank you so much for sharing that story. Shout out to the moms out there busting their behinds every single day. Y'all heard what she said. Yes, Head Start is so important. I have a 5-year-old, and when she was 6 months, I'm like, hey, B, like I'm literally at home with her because I had, fortunately, the opportunity to stay home for almost 2 years with her. Thank God. And because of that, I was able to, teach her colors, teach her ABCs, practice phonics and letter sounds. Unfortunately, a lot of kids don't have that opportunity. And these programs, Jessie, girl, come over here and please give them the social work philosophy behind this. Unfortunately, these programs is intended to help those who can't do it on their own. And I honestly thought that's what our government was supposed to be about. Not everybody can afford private school. Not everybody could afford daycare. These pre-K programs, just like Michelle just shared, is to help those who really don't have it. Studies have shown that if you expose your kids to phonics and reading at an early age and they are ready for kindergarten, we don't know what they could be. Just like Michelle just said, her kids all went to college because of, it's saying that my live got messed up. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Let me just go back live on Facebook. I'm so happy that y'all are here. Next topic. Let's not talk about Trump anymore. Let's talk about some other stuff. Again, remember I said the live show is going to have multiple segments. So the segment that we are doing right now is called Rae's Roundup. We just finished talking about Trump and his efforts to dismantle, which he really can't, the Department of Education, and he fired close to 2,000 people, and now he can continue to fire more. So y'all pray for them people, and if they apply to your job, make sure you accept them. Okay, the next story that I have here is, speaking of education, I saw a video on social media, and I was disgusted. It happened in Milwaukee. Never been there. A mom, she's suing her school district. Her daughter was in a public school, 7 years old. It's summertime, and someone sent her a video. And this situation happened in November, and she's just seeing the video now of a substitute teacher was, I guess, trying to redirect her daughter. And she basically got her daughter on video being dragged. The teacher dragged the little girl out the line and dragged her behind all the way to the principal office. Hold on. Let me pull the video up over here. But I really want to know what you all think about this. Because speaking of the Department of Education and being able to monitor what's going on in the states, this lady, she dragged the damn girl. I'm gonna pull, if you guys want to come on YouTube, it'll be easy because you'll be able to see the video that I am about to share. It's disgusting, by the way. My bestie is here. Hey, Yvette, girl, I had to log back on because it had got messed up. Okay. So this is the video. The video is of the little baby being dragged by the teacher. And unfortunately,
that's why she says she contacted me.
How else am I going to be heard
You don't feel like they're doing enough?
They're not doing their job at all.
It all started on the playground. It's hard to see because the video is blurred, but you can see the teacher grab Nova out of line. Nova then hits the teacher and they disappear inside. The next video, which was given to Tatiana by MPS, shows Nova being dragged on the floor of the school.
I just feel like this is something that's truly trying to be swept under the rug. They only gave me part of the footage. There's a very vital part of the footage from the coat room.
That coat room, Tatiana says, is in between the playground and classroom. A police report of the incident states Nova threw a ball on the ground, which allegedly hit the teacher. The teacher then grabs her arm, pulls her inside, and drags Nova through the school by her arm. The report states the teacher was a substitute hired by a third-party agency, which MPS confirmed is Goodwill Talent Bridge. The detective says he's tried contacting Talent Bridge to identify the teacher, but never got a response. That was back in December. Last week,
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there because it's getting kind of long, and we're gonna talk about what just happened. So as you can see inside this story, the lady says that her daughter threw the ball. I guess the teacher, who's a substitute by the way, told her to stop. The ball hit the teacher. You don't see that part on the video. And the teacher drags her all the way inside the school to the office. There's also a part of the video where you see her taken into like this like coat closet situation. It's a closed area, and you can't see what happened in there. And the mom is disgusted. She said that she want to sue the school. And I want to know how y'all feel about this. So chime in the comments if you're here. What would you do if you're at work, you typing, doing what you got to do, and you get a call about your child being assaulted by a teacher at a school? So I was reading the comments, and there were a lot of older people, not millennials, boomers in the comments. Like, I remember when my teacher had to sign the form and tell my parents that they paddled me today. Like, people were taking it back to the old school. A lot of people in the comments were basically saying, you know, the little girl was wrong for hitting the teacher if she did. A lot of these teachers need to go through proper training. Okay, back to the Department of Education and these school districts and the school board. They need to get, you know, additional training so that they can be able to manage children. And then the other topic that was brought up a lot during this video was autism. How a lot of kids may have special needs and they're in these regular classrooms in the public schools. And because of lack of funding, there may not be teachers' aides, there may not be additional help to support those students with disabilities. And the reason why I did this story second is because going back to the Trump administration trying to dismantle the Department of Education and that funding, you know, like a lot of our schools are already struggling. And to say that you're going to take away additional funding, what do you expect us to do? I am just flabbergasted by this. I hope that this lady gets the help that she needs. I hope she can find an attorney that can help her out. And I hope that baby is not traumatized forever, because that's very traumatic to be dragged by a teacher at school in front of all your friends. I know she's embarrassed. Okay, next story. Let's get into celebrity business for a little while. We all know the Queen Beyonce. Beehive, tap in if you're in the chat. Let me know if you love Beyonce like I do. She is currently on her Cowboy Carter live tour, and she is currently in Atlanta. She loves Atlanta so much because she gave them 4 dates, y'all. She gave them 4 dates. She invited her baby daddy and her husband, Jay-Z, to come out and perform. And while they're there, one of her choreographers and one of her dancers, I guess they were out and about in the streets of Atlanta, had their suitcase, bags, and everything inside their truck, the trunk of the truck, parked the truck, got out, did whatever they had to do, came back. All of the stuff was stolen. Allegedly, the stuff that was inside the truck has some very sensitive information that is, very top secret. What they called it. They said it was basically a flash drive, a laptop with some digital unreleased music, the set list for the current and like future shows that's coming. This is the choreographer. The choreographer got to look at the music and figure out what steps they're gonna do. But it's the unreleased music part, because that's very, very, very tricky. I don't remember. I forgot. Was it Kanye or Ryan Leslie? I remember there was a big time producer years ago. Something similar like this had happened where he left his book bag, or his book bag was stolen, and there was some unreleased music that was stolen, and he ended up paying millions of dollars to get it back. And I honestly feel like I think this is exactly what's going to happen in this situation. The news article that I read, let me see, ABC News, I'll pull it up so we could read it. Let me share my screen with YouTube. Make sure you guys are tapping the screen and liking this video. Share it with your friends. Okay, so we are on ABC. Yeah, that's very horrible. People are low down and dirty. We are on abcnews.com, and the headline reads, hard drives with Beyonce's unreleased music was stolen in Atlanta. Police are searching for a suspect accused of stealing 2 suitcases containing sensitive material related to Beyonce's performances, including unreleased music, show plans from a vehicle in Atlanta earlier this month. Basically, what's so good about this story is because the products were Apple, they were able to do like Find My iPhone or whatever and track down the items. So they do have a vehicle that they're looking for, and there is a arrest warrant that's out. I want to tell you the name. So the report states that the victims of this theft, his name is Christopher Grant and DeAndre Blue. One is a choreographer and the other is a dancer. They went to the police station. They filed a police report. I want to know, do y'all think Beyonce is going to fire them? Because honestly, it's really not their fault. Like, we all know, when you live in a big city, people, your car can be spotless and they still will try to break that window to see what you got in the trunk and see what you have in that glove department. The report was found. The laptop was pinging. So they had 3 units canvass the area to see where the ping was for the Find My iPhone or whatever. Apple got tracking devices on all these. And they went to the area, but they couldn't find it. They have the location of the laptop's pings. The units were sent out to canvass the area, and the officers said that a suspicious person stop was conducted. Listen, Beyonce, do y'all think she gonna fire? I hope she don't fire them, because it's like, damn, it's not their fault. What y'all think? Let me know in the comments. What you think, Andrea? Make sure y'all tapping the screen. It's just not this. Yeah. It's just so sad. I've had stuff stolen from me in New York before. Like, I remember my first car, Sylvia. Yvette, you remember Sylvia? Living in the Bronx, Hunts Point, and I would say multiple times within 1 month, people would steal my mirrors off my car. If you're in the city, like, people steal parts off your car. People would break the damn window just to find change that you got in your cup holder. It's a dirty world we live in. So that's why y'all got to park in the parking garage. Moving on. Hold on. Let's see here. YouTube is getting a better experience, y'all. Okay, so my mom sent me this story, and I was like, oh, because, unfortunately, this is what a lot of people are going through in the world. Apparently, the girl, and I hope they made her GoFundMe. There was a Burger King worker that went viral in South Carolina. Let's see. Let me share my screen. And I'm going to put the volume up so y'all can hear the next story. Okay, so the next story is, hold on. A South Carolina mom of 3 was left to run a Burger King in South Carolina all by herself. Somebody posted a video. In Columbia, South Carolina, a TikTok video making its rounds. It went viral. The mom, her name is Nakia Hamilton. She was running the entire restaurant by herself. When I tell y'all, the girl was at the station making the food, on the headset, doing the drive-through, and taking the orders at the front desk in the dining station. The viral video showed her, of course, she was crying, and she basically said what happened was people had clocked out early, and some people did not show up for work that day. So as the manager, she had to cover their shifts. She had to cover the shift of her staff, and she just basically was crying over the shortages that she's been experiencing at that store. And what I don't understand is, a lot of time when I go to these places, like for example, Family Dollar, Dollar General, and Dollar Tree, there's always one register open, a long ass line, and one person on the floor stocking. And I'm always saying to myself, damn, y'all not hiring? And then when you ask them, are you guys hiring? They'll be like, no. So it's either the companies don't really have the money in the budget to hire a lot of people. That's the first thing that may be. Or number 2, people are not looking for jobs. Which do y'all think it is? 1 or 2? I honestly think that a lot of these companies are trying to be cheap, and they're not trying to hire a bunch of people. We just went to cook a drive-through at Cookout today, and they literally a Cookout that just opened, and I saw 2 people coming out with a paper in their hand because they just filled out an application. So I think people are applying for jobs. It's just these companies are definitely trying to penny pinch and not hire people, because there's no way that every single time I go to Dollar Tree or Dollar General in my area, it's always only one person on the register. Please, if you're watching the replay, tap into the comments and let me know if you've experienced that. One person working the register at Dollar General and one person working the register at Dollar Tree. Yeah, so that lady, she basically was working her behind off all day. And because the video went viral on TikTok, the news station reached out to her and interviewed her. But what I hope comes out of it, because people go viral all the time, is I hope somebody send her some money, or I hope Burger King reach out to her and give her a bonus on her check. Andrea said, people young, they don't like to work and it's nice outside. You're right. It's summertime, but you got to have money to be outside now. You got to have money to be outside, not wanting to work. Okay, so let me make sure I don't have another story. Burger King, the lady dragged the damn baby, Trump in the Supreme Court, and Beyonce and her team got robbed. Okay, so I think it's time for us to move on to Rae's radar, and we talk about some businesses that's on my radar. And if you are a small business or you work for a company and you have a product or service that you are looking to promote, please reach out to me. You can email me at info@Rae Chats. You can come on the show, tell us about your product or service, tap into my audience, which is, I think, about 76% women between the ages of 25 and 53, I think. If you want to tap into that audience, let me know. But the company that I'm going to talk about today is called Hydro Jug. This is the cup they sent me. Look, it's giving me 90s vibe. This is the cup here. Can you see it? YouTube, the lighting is horrible. Hydro jug. And let me tell you something. You cannot have enough cups. When I'm looking for a cup, the two things that I look for is, number one, is the cup going to keep my drink cold? Yesterday, I had got this in the mail. I put some ice. I filled it all the way up with ice. I think it was about 1:30. I was around the house cooking, washed my baby hair, did her hair. Next thing I know, it was almost 6 o'clock. Checked. My ice was still in this cup. Y'all know there's some other brand name cups that's out there where you put the ice in the cup and it does not stay cold all day. So I tried this weekend and all day today at work, and yes, not only does it keep my drink nice and cool, it doesn't leak. So this is the straw. You can remove the straw from the cup and wash it. Make sure y'all washing y'all straws now, because y'all know it gets moldy. And it has a straw that goes down. And here's the trick. No leaking. Y'all see that? I have another cup that's way more expensive than this cup. And if I turn it around, I'm not gonna try to embarrass them. I'm not gonna try to shame another company, but Hydro Jug, no leaking. My other cup, all the time, leaking in the back seat. My baby tried to grab it, leaking. So I'm going to put the link to the Hydro Jug in the comments. So make sure y'all click the link and check them out. This is a 20-ounce cup. And they have, of course, the big ones that look like the other brand name. And they also have the ones with the different straw. This is considered their travel jug. You can use it to travel. And I will put the link to the product here. And let's go on to the next segment. Are you guys ready for the next segment? Yeah. Yep. Speaking of, yeah. Y'all know I've been preparing for this live show forever. Let me show y'all something else that I bought. And it's been sitting here collecting dust. This is supposed to be a machine to make sound effects. So like y'all see how I just said, so this machine is, if I press it, it has like a cheering sound, awesome, a giggle, an applause, awkward, laughter, yelling. So there's different noises that I can make. It comes with a microphone. Here you go. Yeah, but I gotta get I'm missing a plug to attach this to my laptop. Okay, what's the next segment? Also, so this segment is called Rae's Take, where I read an anonymous story, and together we are going to give this person some advice. So are y'all ready for the story? Type ready in the chat if you are ready for the story. Let me pull it up right now. Okay. And most of these stories that I get are from moms, because as y'all can see, my demographic is mainly women that can relate to me. So this person is asking, tell me if I'm wrong. So y'all going to type in the chat if you think they're wrong or not. Okay. This is coming from a 30-year-old female. She said, me, a 30-year-old female, and my boyfriend, he's 31, and he's a male. That's important, gender identities, are visiting his parents for a few days. They live in our old house. The only bathroom that's in the house has 2 doors, one inside with no lock and one that leads to the outside with the lock. So one that's inside the room doesn't lock. And then the door that's leading to the outside where you can access the rest of the house, there is a lock. The only way to know if someone is in that bathroom is by the light being on. So if you see the light on through the door, or if you knock on the door. So day 1 of them visiting with the parents, he walked in on me while I was on the toilet. I said I wasn't okay with that. So let me backtrack because she's not really explaining it. She's saying that she was in the bathroom and her boyfriend walked in while she was on the toilet. She told him that she wasn't okay with it, and he ain't say nothing. That's the first day. He was just quiet. Day 2, he turned on the bathroom light and stayed a while. So this is day 2 of him walking in on her while she's in the bathroom. But this time he turned the light on and he stayed in the bathroom. She says she waited, he left, and then he came back, left again, but didn't turn off the light. She told him after 15 minutes, come back and knock. She said she opened the door. Hold on. People need to know how to write. I'm going to backtrack what she said about day 2 because the writing. If you send in a story, please proofread before you send it to me. Day 2, he turned on the bathroom light and stayed a while. I waited. He left, came back, and left again, but didn't turn off the light. I assumed he was still in there. After 15 minutes, I knocked. No answer. I opened the door saying, coming in. So she's telling him I'm coming in. So he was in the bathroom. And I found the bathroom to be empty. I told him that I've been waiting. He got mad, saying I should have told him I needed to go and should have known that he left already. I just went in. I really had to go, and I was on my period. So I couldn't wait any longer. These people are so, let me tell you, the internet. She continues. She said 2 minutes later, he opened the outside door again. I said, can you knock? This makes me uncomfortable. He got annoyed and said, I should be done already. He's like, basically, what's taking you so long? Why are you still using the bathroom? He's like, no one can see in and there's nothing to worry about. I said, it still makes me uncomfortable. He yelled, there's a lock for a reason. So he basically telling her, why are you not locking the door? And then he stormed out the bathroom. She locked the door. 2 minutes later, he pounded. He's banging on the door now. I jumped, dropped something, and said to him calmly, I need 2 more minutes. He yelled again at her. Then he went around and opened the door again from the other side. She was crying and she was sobbing uncontrollably like a baby. She said later, he texted her, have fun visiting your parents at the beach. Sorry for opening the door on you. Sorry, I opened the door on you. I have to open it no matter what if you was in there. So that's incident number 2 and 1. Now she's moving on to incident number 3. This girl sounds like she's have some insecurities about her body or something, because there's a reason why she probably don't want him in the bathroom. Incident number 3. We were feeding our dogs in the bathroom. His mom's dogs always fight with our dogs. I was changing my top and told him, you see, I knew it was something about the body. Y'all know how we all about our bodies. I was changing my top and told him I was still undressed. He called his mom to come in. I said, whoa. And he said, oh, you're not done? Later while chatting, I said to him that I got to use the bathroom. He opened the inside door. His mom and his stepdad were right there. I just said his name and he said, really? So she's saying now she's using the bathroom. Now the mom and the stepdad and him at the door. Day 3 of them visiting. I told him I was going to the bathroom. He came to the outside door again. And I said, this isn't working. Turn on the light, close the door, lock it. He said, whatever works for you. This morning, I clearly said that I was going. I did it all. I did all 3 steps. 3 minutes in, he knocked. And I said, I'm busy. He started to open it. I repeated, I'm busy, louder. He paused, then stuck his head in. And I said, what the hell? I said, I'm busy. You're clothed and not on the toilet. So what's the problem? So now the 3rd time she's in the bathroom, she has on all her clothes. She's not using the bathroom. I don't know what she was doing in there, and she's mad at him for opening the door again. This is getting crazy. She said, well, I care if people see me, and that should be enough. So she's asking me if I think she's wrong for asking her boyfriend of 3 years not to open the bathroom door on me at his parents' house. Am I complaining for nothing here since nothing didn't happen? If you guys are still with me, I need you to tap into the chat. Do you think she's complaining for nothing? I do. Unfortunately, Miss Anonymous, 31-year-old. Let me see. She said she was 31 or 30. 30-year-old female from, did she say where she was from? She didn't say where she was from. I do think that you are overreacting because you could have prevented the 3 incidents from happening if when he did it the first time, you stressed to him how important it was to you that you have privacy in the bathroom. If you would have made it more clear, I think he would have understood. It sounds like you guys are not ready to live together because, honey, y'all saw what just happened to me. Wait till she have kids. Y'all saw my baby just came down here after she was her dad put her to bed, allegedly put her to bed. And she came down here and just almost got in the camera. And y'all know I don't show my baby on my blog. So once you become a mom and a wife, honey, that personal space and privacy goes out the window. So you need to make sure that you are being explicit in how you feel and saying it right away. Like, you have to say it clear and you have to be strong and strong so he can know you're serious, because he probably thought you was just like, oh, it wasn't a big deal. We have one person. Yo, that's Erica. I know that's not who I think it is. Girl, I love your videos. I tried one of your recipes, that crock pot chicken and the chicken with the gravy. Thank you, honey. You know, I live in Charlotte too, so we need to connect. She said, I don't think she's overreacting because she shouldn't have to break down why she wants privacy. You see, thank you, Erica. You know, my therapist was telling me that I need to start being open to seeing other people's sides. Yeah, you're right. She said kids are different. He's grown and should respect how she feels. There may be a reason why. Yes, I feel like she was leaving some parts out of the story, of course, because this is the internet. She don't want me to know all her business. But it seems like she's having something that she doesn't want him to see, because the third incident, she wasn't using the bathroom. She just was in the bathroom. She's in the bathroom, not using the bathroom, and he still just opened the door. Yeah, you got to speak up. You got to speak up, and especially with these men, because like they said, you got to teach people how to treat you, and she needs to stress it, especially before they move in together. She's 30 and he's 31, so before they move in together, you need to make sure you clear them boundaries and set your expectation, because once a person start doing something, it's going to be hard for them to, and it'll be hard for you to hold them accountable. But I don't know, maybe because I'm like, oh, it's a bathroom situation, I didn't think it was that serious. She may have had a traumatic experience, and I agree, she needs to communicate. Yes, communication is it's hard. Communication is hard, honey. That's Rae's take. So if you have a story that we could talk about next time, make sure you guys send it to me. You can send it to my DM, or you can send it to my email. My email is info@Rae Chats. And Erica, thank you for chiming in, girl, and helping me to see the other side, because I'm just like, what? It's not that serious. He wasn't even using the bathroom. That's how fights start. It start off with something small, and you're right, it may be something with her body, or a traumatic experience that she's experienced. I think that's all I got. Is there anything else that you guys want me to talk about? Leave it in the comments. I was gonna talk about Meg Thee Stallion and her new boo, but I don't know. Oh, Jenna, girl, are you here? Yes, boo. I see you on Facebook. Never really TikTok, but now hopefully you'll be on my algorithm. Yes, Facebook is where this whole thing started, and it's so crazy because I was watching a video the other day, and this guy, he was giving people advice on how to what do you call it? like how to jump into content creation. Thank you, Jenna. Listen, my OG mod from YouTube is here. Thank you, girl. And he was basically saying you have to step out of your comfort zone and do the type of content that your audience like. And this is how I got into yapping. When I first started posting on social media, I'm telling you, you can go back to my old videos. I was just posting my baby, like me out, doing vlogs, posting videos of family stuff, and I would not get views. And then I started talking about, I think I was talking about like Real Housewives of Atlanta or like Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I noticed that anytime I would talk about a topic, I literally would get like over 1,000 views. So I'm like, maybe I should make a separate page where I only talk. Once I did that, immediately got monetized on Facebook. They was like, oh, hey, we could pay you to post videos. And I was like, what? Then after that, I was like, okay, so if I could do this on Facebook, maybe I should come on TikTok. Then that's when I made this TikTok page here. And as you can see, I'm almost at 20-something thousand. On Facebook, I have, I think, 100 and almost 15,000. And now my goal with me doing this YouTube today is to I want to start a YouTube live. I see y'all. Thank you, Erica. I appreciate you, honey. We need to do something in Charlotte. Let's have like a content creators event. But yeah, this is how I started yapping. And you know, I could tell y'all my life story. Y'all want to hear that? Because honey, this was my original plan when my mom packed me up and sent me to Delaware State University. As we went into the department, mass communications department, and they had like a television studio, they had cameras. They was like, you can, you know, learn how to be on TV. Girl, I thought I was gonna be the next Wendy Williams. I did my senior internship at Hot 97 radio station. I literally thought I was gonna be on the radio, and I ended up stuck in working in local government. Oh, I'm at the Cowboy Carter with that hat. Thank you, Erica. That's my first one. I don't think I've ever received gifts on here before. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. Listen, I really, I'm stupid. We had Cowboy Carter. Why she didn't come to Charlotte? Jeez. But yeah, that's how I started this page. So the reason why I'm sharing this story is because if you have something that you're passionate about, it doesn't matter what job you're currently working, you can still continue to explore your passions through social media. So if you like to cook, girl, turn your camera on and record when you cook every day for your family. If you love to sing, I'll be on live watching people sing with their guitar, singing in the camera. If you like to do comedy, you could do skits. There's so many things that you can do to explore your. I was watching a lady sewing on social media. There's people that go to the casino and record themselves on the slot machines. The possibilities are endless. And I'm just so grateful that social media is giving me the opportunity to tap into my original passion, because if not, once you become a wife and a mom, that shit just falls to the wayside. Keep going, boo. My email's in my bio. Maybe we can get together one day. Thank you, Erica. Yeah, because I need some lessons on how to cook. I'm gonna send my video that I made of me making your recipe, girl. I think I didn't put enough water or something. The gravy was so thick. We ate it though. We ate it. I'll email you, but I appreciate y'all for coming and hanging out with me today. I was a little flustered when I first got off, but when I come back, I'm gonna make sure I write all my topics down. Jenna, I need to start and stop playing. This credit card debt got me in a chokehold. Jenna, you can make a goal. Let me know if you need me to help you. And you're beautiful, girl. And that's another thing. You better use that pretty privilege. Turn the camera on and just do your hair. And play the music in the background, like do your makeup. I'm telling y'all, not to say that it's easy, but yeah, honey, you're beautiful. All you got to do is turn your camera on. And there's some girls that don't even talk. Like I've never heard their voice on social media, but they dress nice, they look good, and they know how to keep themselves put together. And that's how they go viral. Thank you again to Hydro Jug for sending me this cup. They're going to be like, that's not how you do the makeup. Yeah, the negative comments, that's another thing. You have to have tough skin. I make videos all the time. I told you I started out on Facebook, and even if my hair not done and I'm still in the camera, but you have to be able to take the criticism. And the only reason why I do that is because I literally have to post a video every single day. Sometimes I post 2 to 3 times a day. And for me to hit my goal of posting every single day, I have to do it no matter how I look. Hair not done, baby crying and talking in the background. You have to continue to keep on going. But what I do is I just like the comments. Sometimes I comment back. If the person is like literally being disrespectful, sometimes the platform will block the comment for me. But you got to ignore people, because guess what? All engagement is good engagement, whether it's negative or not. Don't let the haters stop you in your goal, because do you ever delete comments? I never delete comments, Jenna. That's a good question. The only time the comments gets deleted is if I block the person. Lately, since I've been talking about politics, a lot of the MAGA people and a lot of the racist white men have been coming to my comments, and when I block them, it deletes the comment. So that's the only time you see a comment that's deleted on my page, is if I block the person, then the platform would delete it for me. I remember one day this guy was like, "You talking and look at your wig," and I just wrote back like, "Sir, this is not a wig." I was like, "It's my real hair. It's just not flat ironed." Listen, you just gotta. I have tough skin. My mom, I grew up with a mom that thinks that I'm Beyonce still to this day. Like, she'd be like, "They're just hating on you because you're pretty." Ate them up. Yeah, I'm like, it's not a wig. It's my real hair. Yeah, you have to have confidence, especially if you're gonna do. We from the Bronx, right? Yeah. What could you say to me? You have to, if you're gonna do beauty or fashion like content, you really gotta have tough skin, because people will be like, "That shirt don't match," or "That's not how you blend," or "You're using the wrong foundation," or whatever. So that's why I just get on here and I just talk, because it's something that comes natural to me. I don't really have to worry about editing. I could just share my opinion. So whenever I catch myself commenting on like the Shade Room or one of those other pages, I say, I don't even write the comment. I just take my phone out and make my video on what I was going to say about it on somebody else's page and just record my video. But most of the time, I'm just sharing the facts about the stuff, and I try not to share too much of my opinion, because then that's when the fans of that person would definitely attack you. Like the Barbs, they came at me before. Who else? I think it was back in the day, Christian Rock, like her people, different people will come for you if you're talking bad about somebody that they love. All right, y'all, we did it. I think it said 57 minutes. So far, Facebook is the only one that got cut off, and YouTube and TikTok stayed with me the whole time. Let me see if there's anything else that I wanted to talk about. Y'all gonna laugh at me. I organized my segments and everything. I said Rae Chats live show. The advice column, that's called Rae's Take. Then we have Rae's Roundup. Rae's Roundup is where we're going to talk about the hottest stories and the juiciest headline of the week. Then I have my small business shout out, Rae's Radar, where we talked about the hydro jug cup. And closing out, as long as it ain't Yanti. Jenna, listen, if you are not following Yanti, Rick Ross X, when I tell you, you're right, Jenna, she cursed so good. Did you see when she was she cursed out what's the guy name? I forgot his name. What's his name? I would never talk bad about her. Yo, she said, "You calling the police, I'm calling the CDC." Jenna, what's the guy name that she was cursing out this morning? She said, "You calling the police?" Because he said he was going to go to the police and say that she was harassing him. Charleston White. Is it Charleston? What's his name? I don't want to say the wrong name. Let me look it up. Do you have school? Oh, I look like I'm young enough to be going to school. I'm old, honey. I got to work tomorrow. Is it Charleston? Jenna, is his name Charleston? Let's look it up. She cursed him out so bad. She zoomed in and was like, "What's that on the side of your lip?" I be rolling at work, and then she's doing this early in the morning. She cursed Krishan out. I think, Jenna, what do you think her funniest read? I honestly feel like nothing beats how she did. What's the guy name? Charles, come get your what's his name? She cursed him out so bad. She don't even come up from air. She don't even stutter. Not one stutter. That is so fun. What's the guy name? Miss Netta. Remember when she cursed out Miss Netta? Yo, she was like, you she's so entertaining. I was watching her the other morning. She was in a pool. She had her little joint in her hand and she just was rolling. They was like, I would be so embarrassed if my mom was doing this. And she was like, honey, my kids is in college. You wish your mom was doing this. She was like, am I on here? Jenna, you are always cutting up. It's so true. Like she just goes in. Did you see when she had like a little segment on her live where she would say, what's your baby daddy number? Let me call him. And she basically was calling people's boyfriends and cursing them out like, my niece said that you did X, Y, and Z to her. Oh my God, it was so funny. She was calling the guy a job and they kept pinging up and she was calling right back. Oh yeah, Jenna, I watch her all the time, honey. But she got a fee. I'd be like, damn, I wish I could blow up and get like some guests on a show. She said she charged people to be on a podcast. I'm like, damn, how'd she go from? The guy was like, I'm at work. And she was like, oh, so you have money? Yeah, you saw me. She had called Rikers Island or something. She called like the Department of Corrections. That lady is hilarious. And you know what's so crazy about this whole thing is I was trying to ask myself the other day, I'm like, when did she become popular? It's like, when did she get on the internet and she started doing this? I think she was arguing with Rick Ross and she made a page. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all gotta tap the screen. It was saying that it said something about my live has some inactivity. The guy was like, I'm at work. She's calling grandsons to scare the script. Yeah, people, I'm telling you, he blocked her number, so she got on TikTok. That's exactly what happened. Rick Ross had ended up blocking her, and she got on social media and started cursing him out. And I feel like from that, she just blew up. Does she still have that show on she had a show, it was like a podcast with what's her name? Black China's mom, Tokyo. Do they still have that show? I never got to watch it. But she blew up after that. Girl, she do bookings. I saw her on this. She was on somebody's stage twerking. Is she a grandmother? It lasted one day. Her and Tokyo Tony argued. Yeah, they was about to fight. And Tokyo was even about to argue with the other lady. But it's so crazy how all of them was able to just come up and create these names for themselves. One because of their son, the other one because of the daughter, and now her because of Rick Ross. And it's so crazy because looking at her and me watching her lives and stuff, I'm thinking to myself, damn, I can't even imagine her and Rick Ross being together. She's hilarious. You cannot argue with that lady. Whenever I hear someone mention her name, I get so scared for them. I'm like, oh, this is about to be funny. Oh my God, you have to post this clip to bring it back out. The people going to laugh. I know. I'm gonna see if I can look it up. Send me the clip. That's one thing about Jenna, y'all. Girl, I'm so happy we met. How did we meet? What's it, YouTube? She's always sending me stuff. And sometimes I don't see my mentions. Like I'll see it so late when you send it to me, but I appreciate when you send me stuff, girls. When you tag me, I'll be like, thank you. I get my little laugh. Yeah, because sometimes I don't know what topics to talk about, and then Jenna always send me something. I'm like, let me talk about that. Oh, I had wrote this story down. You saw what happened with Miss Nikki Baby. Her the guy that had left her, he was with the other girl. Now he left her too. Yeah, on YouTube it was me. I know. I did my late night live. You see my freaking quitter behind. I started it. I think I did it 3 days and then stopped. I'm gonna try to stick to this. I originally said I wanted to do every day, But the way today went, I doubt if I could do every day, because with the lifestyle that we live, I just don't know what's going to happen. I can't commit to every day at 9 o'clock, but I'm going to try to do it, not tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. Maybe I could do a lunch break live. Are y'all available for lunch break lives? She's too mature. Miss Nikki Baby needed to give Beyonce his number. Yeah. She got on Jason Lee and sat on his couch, and she was looking so pretty, and she said, I'm over it. He wasn't for me. I was like, oh, I wonder what therapist she used, honey. But what's so crazy about it is Moniece from Love and Hip Hop, she took up for her in the comments. I was going to post it. And she basically said, how dare him? Like, her Miss Nikki Baby's family was taking care of that boy. And I remember the dad put her on the pedestal. He was like, yeah, I'm so happy she with my son. And then look what he fucking did. You see how these men do? Low down and dirty. But you know what? Karma comes fast. It comes so fast. And those poor babies, the poor babies, because those are the only ones that's going to be affected by this. I just wish she ate him up a little bit more. No, she's too classy. You remember how she used to be on the show? Like, she not with all that. At the end of the day, she gonna hopefully she get her glow up like Sierra. You see Sierra matching everybody together. I'm gonna end it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end it on Facebook and then stay on TikTok and then end it on YouTube. All right, so let's wrap this thing up. YouTube, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe and share the video. And we'll be back for another one. Thank you for being here. And Facebook, y'all know y'all my first love. My Facebook people is my people.